there's less counterbalance. And then the final thing, I guess, is the conflict, which is that in 17, the Middle East was relatively peaceful, Ukraine was relatively peaceful. We're now in a very, very, very different world in which Russia is advancing in Ukraine, advancing steadily, just before Christmas, advancing about 100 meters a day, and Ukraine was in trouble. Situation where it's very difficult to quite understand how Netanyahu's government is ever going to really allow a proper ceasefire to happen, and in which China's in a different position in relation to Taiwan, India's in a much more powerful position, and that's where I'll finish my long, silly lecture. The key things underlying these executive orders show a really fundamental worldview is emerging. It's protectionist, not free trade. It's isolationist. Instead of trying to get involved in other countries, had a phrase in his second inaugural where he said, instead of America spending unlimited money protecting foreign borders, we're going to protect our own borders. It's absolutely anti any conversation about climate change or energy transition. And I guess, above all, it's pushing the rest of the world to be much more transactional. So if you're Britain or France or Germany or an African country, let's say you're Uganda, you're looking now to think, all I can do is defend my national interest, look for transactional deals that I can do with Trump, and almost certainly new blocks are going to emerge into the vacuum that he's creating. Back over to you.
Yeah, I was talking the other day to Kevin McCarthy, the former speaker, who you'd have thought would have ended up as a bit of an enemy of Trump because he basically lost his job as part of all that kind of MAGA infighting. But he seems to be still reasonably close to him. But I was saying to him, which of the leaders last time around do you think handled Trump best? And he said, oh, no doubt the Japanese guy. He really improved his golf. And he was serious. He went and had Abe went and had golf lessons. So, the best thing I can do is really get my handicap down, play with Trump. Obviously, make sure Trump wins. But so, and I think for Britain, Keir Starmer did a sort of short statement from Downing Street, congratulating Donald Trump, welcoming him, work with him, blah blah blah. David Lammy was on the airwaves talking up his charmingness as a host when they had dinner and before the election, and his sort of love of Britain, etc. But the fact is, I worry in that sort of foreign policy mindset that you just set out,